WYE, What's Your Experience? I'm Lily Montero, and I'm the editor-in-chief of The Experience.
And I'm Kelly, the multimedia editor.
WYE is an LMC podcast all about the unique experiences of the students here at Los Medanos College.
By telling your stories, we hope to bring a deeper connection through all of us here at LMC.
This week's topic is, what is your worst heartbreak or greatest love story?
Today, we are bringing you both sides of the spectrum. First heartbreak and the love of a lifetime.
Hi, my name is Carla Gutierrez. I am 20 years old. I attend Los Medanos College to hopefully one day transfer into an administrative justice major. When I was 17, my life was a mess. I didn't know up from down, and I had fallen in love. I was working at In-N-Out at the time, and this girl who taught me how to use the register became the first person I was crazy for. We immediately began to hang out every second we could, and we never could stop seeing each other, never stopped lying to our parents, never stopped wanting to hang out past curfew, whatever that means to you. Soon enough, after all that time we spent, she had asked me to move in with her. She took the first time I was ever deflowered, and maybe that's why I was so crazy. I wanted it to be special about everything, and I didn't want the first person who ever shared themselves with me to feel broken. And maybe that's where all our problems started. I was living with her, and when I first originally asked her to be my girlfriend, I had to forgive her for the antics of the night before, of her antics. We lived together for all of 6 months in a place where we had free rent and no problems, and through all of that we did whatever we pleased, from going out all day to partying whenever we wanted to, and taking things that weren't ours when we didn't have enough money to. But it always seemed that we had money for fun. After a while, we got the rug pulled out from under us, and we had to go to my mom's place. I hadn't changed my lifestyle, and I was still on the same antics that I always had been. It immediately got hard with my mom, and she decided to crack down on me specifically, because I was her son, and she believed that I could do better. We left in October of my 18th year, and we lived in a Jetta for maybe all of 4 days, me, her, and a little pit bull we had adopted. After that, we got help a couple days later from a friend who moved us into his place in Oakland, and that's where our real issues began to start. In that place, it was the first time I ever cheated on her, and maybe it was a deficiency in my life or just the craziness in my head, but I told her almost immediately of my mistake. She took that mistake and she looked at it as if her issues had evened out instead of an actual problem. Their parents didn't like us either, and so we had to move into a little Ford Explorer. While I was 19, I was living in a Ford Explorer for maybe 6 months. I quit my job. We got another dog, so I had to stay in the car. One salary, even though we didn't pay any rent. I had gotten another job, and when my mom caught wind of all the antics we were up to, she decided to take me back in. I helped her quit her job originally and get her another job, and in that same place she had found a new love. It broke my heart when I found out that I was being cheated on once again, because it was just the same cycle we were always in. I told her to leave, and when I did that, I realized that I had nothing. That all this time was just 3 years of a waste, and that I didn't know where to go from there. My mom had previously threatened me to get my stuff together or to leave her home once again. So I was applying to college. Now I'm here and my life is starting to progress so far because I wanted to. Because out of all this nothingness, I realized that I wasn't a person of worth because I let myself lose myself. I want to be successful. I want you to be successful. I don't want you to be afraid of falling in love. I want you to take my story with caution and understand that we can't lose ourselves in somebody else. No one who completes you is good enough for you because you're not mature within yourself, because you need to complete yourself. I'll be good one day, and someday you will be too.
I'm Julius Steele. I'm 20 years old and my major is recording arts, and I'm transferring into an advertising degree. Yeah, I was listening to him play and he really caught my eye. Like, the first thing that I saw that I really liked about him was like his facial features. He has really, really like amazing looking eyes. He has really big eyes and they have like gold flecks in them and green, and I just remember that so vividly. Kind of cheesy, but it's true. And I was just listening to him play and he was so amazing. He's just gotten better since. He was just great at guitar playing, and I actually play guitar too, so I was kind of jealous. I was like, man, I want to play like that. So after that, I approached him. I was like, hey, like, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. I started talking to his friend because I knew his friend, and I was kind of trying to like ease my way into conversation with him, but he wasn't really paying attention to me. And I think it was because like he was nervous. I mean, he says today that he was really nervous that day to talk to me because he liked me too. And so it came across as that he was like kind of rude. And I was like, man, why is this guy being rude to me? Like, I didn't do anything. I'm trying to talk to you. So after that, I had to go back to class, and we didn't really see each other after that, and I was kind of disappointed. But then all of a sudden I decided to make a Tinder, kind of reluctantly. And I saw him on there and I was like, what? This guy's on here. Oh, I'm so excited. And so I swiped right and he also did. So we matched. And I was really excited because I was like, wow, I thought this guy was not into me at all, but apparently he is. I would see him through the hallways in the music building and I would want to say hi again. We would smile at each other, and I knew there was still something there, but I was just too, like, I felt really awkward. I don't know why. And so eventually I formed a band called the Jukebox Breakers, and he was in a band called 3 a.m. Tomorrow. Shout out to them. They're still a band. Yeah, so I saw his band on Instagram, and I was like, wow, they're so freaking good. Like, I need to play with these people. Like, my band and their band need to play together. And so I messaged him on their band page, and I was like, can we please play together? You guys are so great. I think our bands would play really well together. So they were like, yes. And I was really excited. I didn't think anything of like the relationship with me and him. I was just like, you know what? Like, we could be friends. It'll be fun. So the day of the show comes up and we go to the house show. And right when I see him, I don't know what happened, but I just like freaking like fell in love with this guy. Like, I don't know why it happened on the second time, but it was like really a lot. And I went up to him and he hugged me. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. And so I saw his band play. And I was like, holy crap, these guys are so good. And I saw him, and I was taking like Snapchats of him playing and putting little hearts, and I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that, but I was just freaking falling in love. So they played, and after that, he watched my band play, and I remember how he had taught me some guitar stuff, and I wanted to make him proud. Like, I was looking at him in the crowd, and when I was playing my guitar, I wanted him to see how much I've improved. And it's weird that I cared so much about that, even though I didn't know him that well. And so after that, I texted him afterwards, and I was like, you were so cute, blah, blah, blah. I didn't really care if I came off as desperate, because at that point, I was just like so head over heels. So he eventually texted me back, and we started seeing each other more and more at school. I invited him to my show coming up. And this is kind of where it gets bad. So I invited him a couple days in a row. I kept reminding him about the show. And the day of the show comes up, and I don't get a text from him. But I don't want to, like, text him a lot. I don't want to seem too desperate. I took super long to get ready, curled my hair, wore, like, a really nice dress and everything. And then I play the show. And I was waiting for him the whole time I was performing, like, looking out in the crowd. And I didn't see him show up. And he didn't come. And I was really upset. It really took a toll on me. Eventually, I gave in again, and I texted him later that day because my dad told me I should give him a second chance. And, like, I don't know how my dad saw that he was a good guy, but he knew. I don't know how. I had told him everything that happened previously, and he just had a feeling. He's like, you should give him a second chance. And it did pay off, because I invited him over to hang out with me and my band that day, and we had a great time. And when everyone left, he stayed for a little bit, and I told him, I was like, I really like you. Like, I really like you. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time I ever said that. And he was like, really? I like you too. I was like, really? And I was so excited. And so after that, he started taking me on dates, basically like courting me, trying to, get me to trust him again, and took me to the drive-ins, and we had our first kiss, and it was just like, so nice after that. Nothing wrong happened. He comes to my shows all the time now, so that's good. He regrets not coming. He said that he was too nervous to come, and that's what happened. He didn't want to see my parents and feel awkward, so he said it was because he liked me too much, so, that's a good thing. We really work now because I think that we're both just so devoted to the relationship. We make time for each other. I don't really believe in, like, not having time for somebody. I think that no matter how busy you are in life, if you really care about something, you're going to make time for it. You're going to make the changes that you need to do that. And I'm saying that because he goes to San Jose State and I go to Los Medanos College. And so, driving out there is not easy. It's a long and hard drive. There's some crazy freaking drivers out there. They are aggressive. But I'm like, the whole time I'm like, Abraham, give me strength. Like, make me feel better on this drive. Like, I just think about how I'm going to make him feel when I see him and how I'm going to feel. And that just makes it better. And I'll sing on my way there, so I'm not so stressed out when I see him. And he'll make me dinner and treat me really well. And then I spend, like, my Saturdays in the library while he's at work. So, we really make it work. We'll take the time that we need for each other and devote that to each other.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of WYE. If you or someone you know has an interesting story, come talk to us in room CC 301. We record on Tuesdays, but we can schedule for Wednesdays as well. You can expect an episode from WYE every other Thursday. Special thanks to our guest this week, and an extra special thanks to recording artist Julius for our theme music. Till the next experience, see you soon.